Can you hear me? Can you hear me all right? Because I've connected some music as well over here.
Yes.
Everyone can hear me? Okay, cool. I'm going to try and speak up in louder. So this is really a lofty perch which Jessica has designed for me over here. And I might just fall. So I might fall on many different levels because I'm going to have a this is going to be a very challenging topic. Because I'm going to be talking about karma, that is very, very challenging. Let's put it off for now, please.
No, I'll just turn it down a little bit. Is that alright? Can you all hear it? Can you hear it? Yeah. Yeah?
So when I came here in the afternoon, I had a very cunning plan. I thought I'm going to listen very carefully to both the speakers before me. And then I'm just going to say what they say. And I'm going to throw in some Sanskrit words for special effect. So that was my plan. But then I thought to myself, if I did that, you might want a third of your money back. And also, Jess is a trained boxer, so this would not end well. So I had to design a talk during the lunch break. So now the way it goes with me is that it's very interactive. So I'm going to throw a lot of questions at you. And you might want to ask a few questions back. Now when you ask many questions, please make sure they're not very intelligent questions. Please make sure I can answer in a way which is very dubious. And I will be throwing in a lot of Sanskrit words because it does make me sound very intelligent. So you'll get a lot of those. So I'm going to start with saying Namaskar, Namaste, Namaskar. Thank you. So Namaskar is a Sanskrit word which actually means I acknowledge the divine spark in you. The same divine spark which is also within me. So that is the meaning of Namaskar. So now this, like I said, it's a very, very ambiguous topic, karma. So before I start the topic, I want to tell you a little story. So we need a central character for the story. So what would you like to name the character? Please select a name. So just give me a name for this character.
Jack.
Jack. Jack. Right, okay. Now we need to have him at a train station. So which one would you prefer, Victoria or Waterloo?
Victoria.
Which one?
Victoria.
Victoria. Okay, so Victoria train station. Now we need to give him a destination. He should be going somewhere. So where should we be going from? Newcastle. You actually get a train to Newcastle? From Victoria?
In the story.
Okay, in the story. Okay, right. Okay, so the story goes that Jack is at Victoria Station and he's got a ticket in advance to go to Newcastle. And he has a lot of time before the train is going to come into the platform. So what does he do? He just strolls along the platform, trying to, kill time, as they say. And he comes across a weighing machine. Now there is a little sign above the weighing machine which says, this is a very special machine. This machine tells you your future as well as your weight. So Jack was very intrigued. He had never seen a machine before that can tell the future, which can also give his exact weight. So he goes up to the machine, he takes out a 50p coin, puts it into the slot. There are lights that flash, there are bells that ring, and a little card comes out from the slot. So Jack picks up the card reads, your name is Jack. You weigh 80 kilograms. How much is that in stones? I have no idea. Your name is Jack. You weigh 80 kilograms and you are waiting for a train to Newcastle. Now Jack is absolutely dumbfounded. How can this weighing machine give him so much information? But then he thinks to himself, there has to be something wrong with this. Maybe there's a hidden camera, maybe they took a photocopy of my ticket, something is wrong over there. So he ponders over it, he goes outside, comes back after 15 minutes, puts in another 50p, and again, the lights flash, the bells ring, and a little card comes out of the slot. The card says, your name is still Jack. You still weigh 80 kilograms. And you are waiting for a train to Newcastle. Now this really surprises Jack. So what he does is he says, there must be a way, there's something going on. So he goes outside the Victoria station, he goes to a costume store, buys a long beard, a wizard hat, and a walking stick. And then he goes back to the machine. So now he's got a long beard, he's got a wizard cap and a walking stick. He goes back to the machine, puts in the 50p coin, the lights flash, the bells ring, and a card comes out. The card says, your name is still Jack. You still weigh 80 kilograms. But because of your antics, you have missed the train to Newcastle. Now this story about Jack, I have a purpose behind saying it because it's a bit of a disclaimer about what will follow in the rest of my talk. So basically, what basically happened with Jack is that he did not believe the machine. He was judging the machine. He was judging the authenticity of what the machine told him. So what happened with Jack is he got trapped in the mind. And I do want to talk a little bit about the mind. The Sanskrit name for the mind is Manas. And Manas in Sanskrit means that which judges. So quite simply, if you break down the meaning of the mind, it is that tool that judges. Now because the mind is constantly judging, because the mind is constantly evaluating, it tends to create doubt. So basically the story of Jack in the Victoria station was just to highlight how the mind works. If the mind comes across something which matches our past experience, we will acknowledge it. But when we are faced with something absolutely new, when we are faced with something which is very radical, like maybe the spirit world, then we have doubts. Because the mind judges. So in meditation, how many of you have come to my meditation classes? Oh, quite a few. Wow. Thank you. Do come again if you found it. So basically, in meditation, you use the mind to transcend the mind. So they say the mind is so very powerful that you can use it to hit upon a different reality. So you actually use the judgment of the mind, but you give it a different direction, and then it takes you to a very different realm. So this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to help nudge your mind. I'm going to help push your mind into a different reality, into accepting something which is completely new. So how many people know about karma? I mean, you're familiar with karma. So what does it mean? Could someone please, please, Jay. Do you want to mic?
Yeah.
So hello, that's loud. So for me, karma is about action and reaction. So in different levels. So the karma that I create in my life through my own actions and the consequences of that, but also through the dimensions of my past lives, my family karma, collectively what we've created, and so sometimes the effects of that.
Excellent, fantastic, thank you. Anyone else would like to, I'm going to write over here on this computer. Someone told me this is a red tab back, so I'm going to use a red keyboard, and I'm going to write the word karma over here. There you go. K-A-R-M-A. Karma, so everyone is familiar with this word, karma, right? In Sanskrit, we can divide it into two bits, kar and ma. Kar means action. So kar means action, and ma means mind. So does that explain a little bit what karma really means? It basically means my action. My action. So that's what it really means. Now, why does karma exist? Because if karma was created, if the divine, let's say for the sake of argument, first of all, let's make a postulate. A postulate is that we agree on a certain then we discuss about it. So let's have a postulate that God does exist, that the divine does exist, right? So why did the divine create karma? So I'm going to tell you a story, because I love telling stories. I think life is a very beautiful, interesting story. So I'm going to tell you a story which is actually from the Mahabharata, which is a very ancient book in the Indian spiritual philosophy. So there is a story where there are 5 brothers who are camping in the forest. And they get very thirsty. As they get thirsty, they go towards a lake. Now what happens is that because they wanted a certain safety protection, they do not all leave the camp at once, but they go one by one. So one brother says, I'm going to go and find water, and then I'm going to bring it back for everyone. So he takes a wooden bucket with him, and he goes in search of water. So he comes to a big lake. He says, this is perfect. It's a beautiful, clean lake. And as he scoops some water in the bucket, an angel from the lake suddenly comes out. And the angel says, stop. This is my lake. This is my property. You cannot drink this water. So the first brother says, please, I need to drink. I'm very thirsty, and so are my brothers. So please allow me to drink from this lake. So the angel says, okay, I'm going to ask you a question. I'll ask you one question. And if you answer the question correctly, then you can have the water from my lake. But if you give a wrong answer, then I will kill you. So, well, he's not the kind of angels that you're used to. You know, he was kind of a different kind of an angel. He had both the dark and the light in him. Let's say, for now, let's say that. So, well, going back to the camp, the 4 remaining brothers wait for him. He doesn't come back. One of them goes out in search of him. He rediscovers the lake. He finds the same lake which the first brother had found. Again, the same scenario repeats itself. He bends down to drink the water, and the angel comes out and he says, answer my question. If you do not answer it correctly, I will kill you. So this goes on. Both the brothers don't return. The third one goes, he doesn't return. The fourth one goes, he doesn't return. Now only the last, the 5th brother is left. So he goes to the lake. And again, as he scoops the water in his palm, the angel comes out and he says, answer my question and drink. If it is correct, you live. If it is wrong, you die. So the brother says, yes, please ask me the question. So I'm going to ask you the question that the angel asked all the brothers. What is certain for one that is born?
Oh, death.
Death. Anyone else? What is certain for one that is born?
Life.
Life. Who said life? Life. Okay. Anyone else? Any other answer?
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty, change. Okay. Sickness. Anybody else? What is certain for one that is born? Karma. Very clever, because the topic is karma. Anybody else? What? Yes, please. Birth is certain for one that is born. Anyone else? Urination. Okay. I mean, yes, the T over there can kind of figure that out. Well, anyway. The 5th brother replies, enlightenment. And the angel says, that is the correct answer. Please drink from the lake. And he also brings to life the remaining 4 brothers. Now, according to the philosophy of karma, enlightenment is certain for one that is born. So we keep going through different stages of evolution until we are enlightened. So they say every single living creature will be enlightened. But how does it happen that some people are at a different level of evolution and some people are at a lower level of evolution? This is the question, because of karma. It is. Now, what I'm going to say is going to that Jack behaved at the Victoria station. So I'm going to throw this out at you. It is only in the human birth that karma can be created. It is only in the human birth that karma can be created. Let me give you an example. A lion in the jungle will kill, but there will be no karmic cause and effect which will be attached to that. Because it is only the human being that can create karma. Every other living being, I'm going to add something else. Every other mortal living being lives out their karma. But it's only the human being that can create karma. And why has the divine given this incredible power to the human being that only the human being can create karma? Because as you create karma, as per the laws of cause and effect, as per your own evolution, you go forward towards enlightenment or you take a step back. So you can also take a step back. You can actually fall from your own progress. When a human being kills, they fall from that progress. When a human being gives love and compassion, they move forward. And the interesting thing is that, again, I'm going to shake you up with this, probably, that it is only in the human form that the fullness of the spirit, the fullness of the divine can be experienced. Now, I'm going to give you an example. A dog is really loving. A dog has incredible love. A dog has unconditional love. Even if you smack a dog, the dog is still going to come 5 minutes later and wag his tail at you and lick your face and stuff like that. So a dog has far more love than a human being, but still the dog cannot experience the divine in its fullness. That is only granted to a human being, and that is why karma has been created. So that either you go towards it or you take a step back. But then going back to what happened at the rate and what the angel said, every single person will one day be enlightened. It's only a question of how much work you have done. How many good merits or whatever have you put in your bank balance. Has everyone heard about the aura? Should we know? How many would like an explanation on the aura? Okay, excellent, okay. What is your understanding of the aura? What is your understanding of the aura? Please could someone, go ahead.
It's some type
Did you want to mic?
I can just project. It's some type of energy field like around your body which manifests your vitality.
Excellent. So everyone got that? Yeah, anybody else? What is your understanding of the aura? Don't be shy, it's fine. We're all one. Yeah.
It's like an energetic field that kind of holds emotion, feelings, events happening in your life.
Perfect. So actually both of you have hit the thing right on the head. You nailed it, yes. I told you I'm throwing a lot of Sanskrit words because it does kind of make me appear to be clever and intelligent. So, this body, this one, including my one man, this body is known as the Annumai Kosh in Sanskrit. Annu means food. So this is the Annumai Kosh, or that Kosh means sheath or layer. So this layer or this sheath has been created from food. So it's called the Annumai Kosh. So the physical body is the Annumai Kosh. And this is why it's extremely vital to understand what you put into the Annumai Kosh, because it is made from food. And this is the reason I support Ria when she has her raw festival. I support her when she gives her understanding about food. I support Jess because this is the Annumai Kosh. Sanskrit is a very, very precise language. Very, very precise. So if it's saying this is the Annamaya Kosh, it is made out of food, which automatically means be very careful what you eat. Simple, right? Would you agree with that, Leah? And that is why she has a raw festival, and she invites me every single time when I do meditation groups and classes over there. Right. So surrounding the Annamaya Kosh is a layer of prana. So is everyone familiar with the word prana? Prana means life force, it means energy. So the layer which is outside the Annamaya Kosh is known as the Pranamaya Kosh. So the aura is the Pranamaya Kosh. And there are 7 layers of the aura. Not just one layer, there are 7 layers of the aura. And it will be too detailed and too complex to describe these layers. But as your consciousness keeps expanding through the layers, you actually hit the last and final layer, which is known as the Anandamaya Kosh. Anand means unconditional bliss. So at the very outer reaches of the aura, you actually empower the Anandamaya Kosh, which actually means you are happy, and that happiness is not bound by people, places or situations. Can you imagine how powerful that is? That you are happy and you're not bound by anything happening in the world. At the same time, you do your action to heal it. So when people go into the Anandamaya Kosh, they are constantly in a state of peace and happiness, but they do a lot to uplift the vibration of the world. So it doesn't mean that they just sit back and they enjoy it. You know, they trip on that ecstasy. It doesn't happen that way. They give out. They give out. Beings like Jesus. There are other angels, there are so many other beings, there are enlightened sadhus, they belong to every tradition, every country, everywhere. By the state of their enlightenment, they keep giving something, they keep giving something. And we as in the human form, even though we are not yet enlightened, we still give. Like gathering of minds, the reason it was concocted, the reason it was made was to give something. The reason why Leah does a raw fest is to give something. So, we don't have to reach enlightenment in order to give something, we can keep giving. Anyway, let's talk about the aura. So, would you like to know more about the aura? So, there are 7 layers of the aura. Now, there's another very important Sanskrit word which is called Bimb Pratibimb. Now, this is going to be a bit complex, so I'm going to take it very slowly. Bimb Pratibimb. Bimb means the original image. Pratibimb means the reflection. So when you stand in front of the mirror, you are the bimb. You are the original image. What you see in the mirror is the reflection. What you see in the mirror is the pratibimb. Are you clear so far? Bimb, pratibimb. Now, the secret of the aura is that the aura is the bimb. The aura is the original image. Your universe is the pratibimb. Your universe is the reflection. Take a moment to digest this. When you stand in front of the mirror, you are the original image. What you see as a reflection is the pratibimb. Your aura is the bimb. Whatever is happening in your universe is a reflection of your aura. It's the pratibimb. Which means, if you alter something in your aura, you will alter something in your universe. I have a twin sister. Right from a very early age, our destinies were never similar. Because her bimb and pratibimb are different to my bimb and pratibimb. Many years ago there used to be a Linda Goodman book on astrology and on the 9 planets, and it was like a massive hit. It was huge, and she would say, okay, so if you're born in November, you're a Scorpio, otherwise you're this, and this is what's going to happen to you. But it it cannot stand true for everyone because everyone's aura is different. The aura is like a fingerprint. Everyone has a different aura. No two auras are the same. If your aura is different, your pratibindh will be different. Your world will be different. Right, so okay. So now let's go deeper into the aura because some people wanted to know about the aura. The prana my coach. So the aura, let's talk about the aura. We have 720,000 meridians known as nadis. Nadi basically means rivers. So we have 720,000 nadis which crisscross the entire body from head to toe. So wherever these nadis meet connectively in a group, they resemble the wheel of a bicycle. If you look at the wheel of a bicycle, you have a lot of spokes which will culminate on a central hub. So actually, that is called a chakra. The Sanskrit for chakra actually means wheel, or rather the Sanskrit for wheel means chakra. So basically a chakra is where a lot of these nadis, so let's say 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 nadis, where they converge, they form a chakra. Now when you want to repair the aura, because the aura does get damaged from day-to-day life, the aura gets damaged from previous births. I will talk about that later because that is a very, very integral part of karma, but that is really, really taking you into very weird spaces. I mean, if you're happy to go there, I'll take you there. It's up to you. I mean, we can make this talk as bohemian, as wild as you want. But to understand that at times the mind is going to be like Jack at Victoria Station. And when the mind is like Jack at Victoria Station, just try to understand that, well, that's the way it goes. So, I only have 10 minutes. I studied death quite intricately because I'm the only living male member who has survived from my father's lineage. None of my cousins had lived beyond the age of 25, and it's made me understand death, and I've tried to study it. So basically, I'm going to just throw this out, and then I'm not going to answer your question, but I'm going to give you two viewpoints. There is one field of thought that says death is predetermined. So there's one field of thought that says the moment you are born, the time you're going to die is fixed. In some books of Indian philosophy, they say the amount of breaths you are going to take is fixed from the moment you are born. This is one philosophy, that it is fixed, that it is unchangeable. There is another philosophy which says death can be preponed by negligence. By negligence. If you don't look after yourself, you can prepone death. So again, this is a very, very debatable topic. Whether those people who those beautiful souls who lost their lives, whether they had to be there or they were there by accident, I don't know. There is another field of thought that says because death is predetermined, 6 months before you die, a chain of events are going to set into motion which will lead you to that specific place at that specific time. Now this is one field of thought, right? Another field of thought, which is polar opposite, says that death can be preponed by negligence, which means you can avoid it up to a certain level. So they say that even though your time of departure has been designated, you can prepone it by negligence or being careless or by taking the wrong actions. So it's a very, very debatable topic, extremely debatable. I had a vision of my mother dying one day before she died, so that day I stayed in and she died. She died the following day. I knew there's nothing that can happen to prevent it because that was predetermined. But then again, it's a very, very debatable topic. As a human being, what we can do is pray for these souls. Because they say prayers always reach. No amount of tears can reach someone who has departed, but prayers always will reach them, and they will add to their merit. So that's all I can say, and I think we should definitely pray. You know, when I do my meditation, I do a standard meditation where we heal Mother Earth. And a lot of people have some pretty amazing experiences. That is my standard meditation to heal Mother Earth. And then we follow it with another meditation. But this is, as a human being, it becomes our dharma, it becomes our nature, it becomes our duty to heal Mother Earth. So that's how it is. So thank you very much for listening to my babbling on. And